And we welcome you back. It is October the 29th. Our cat's not happy. Abracadabra, she disappeared. She gets grumpy when I wake her up. So we've got another guitar here. We just could not help ourselves. Those crazy guys at Proaudiostar just make those deals so tempting. And I've always wanted a classic vibe Telecaster, so I thought I'd dive in and get one. And it was the choice between the Butterscotch Blonde, which is the classic, and the what they call the White Blonde, which I can already see is another blush guitar, which I don't really mind. I just think that they would do a lot better if they would call it the Mary Kay and call it the blush. I think that they would just have happier customers. I think what happens is that people expect a blonde guitar and then they get this pink thing and they're sort of in a state of what the heck, which I understand. Expectations are a big part of life's adventure. Now, being as that I already have the 50s Stratocaster in the, as they call, blonde white, I was totally expecting, but I mean, I can see through the protective coating here that it clearly has a pink tint to it, which again, doesn't bother me. It bothers me even less because it's well within the parameters of what I was expecting. So I don't feel any sense of, wow, big surprise at all. I was sort of hoping to get one that was a little wider, but, you know, as you learn in life, you take what you can get. If the guitar's in good shape, I will accept it. It's got a nice identifying mark there. Once again, the fret-ends on this feel pretty good. This puppy was inspected on the 18/3. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing March, although the serial number says that it was made in, so who knows. Weird staining on it, but again, those things don't really matter to me. How it plays is more important, but I do have to say that I guess you would call it a mineral stain. It's sort of funky looking, but hey, I'm not going to worry about the details. If she plays good, that will be what in the end really matters most to me. Looks like it survived shipping just fine. No neck pocket cracks. No blems of, dents or funny little round things. No flame on the neck. Again, I sort of like the odd and then the usual, and I don't mind. I mean, pine has irregularities to it like all woods do. So we're going to go plug it in, give it a spin, and we'll be back later on for comments and conversations. Okay, welcome back. It is now in the mid-afternoon, about 2:30. Yeah, it's just about 2:30, and again, it's October the 29th, 2022, and I've had a chance to play this guitar for a couple hours, and all I can say is, wow, it's a really nice guitar. The camera does not show the pink hue. It's definitely not quite as pink as my 50s Classic Vibe Stratocaster, but I think they would be better served instead of calling this a white blonde, which is how it looks on the camera, but in person it's got a little more of a coral pink tint. I think they should call this the faded translucent shell pink guitar. Because I think a lot of people get this guitar and they're really surprised with the pink tint. And apparently from everything I've read, it's just the nature of the pine body reacting with the paint. Maybe over time the pinkish hue fades out. I don't know. With poly finishes, I don't think anything fades. Anyways, it's a really, really, really nice guitar. And I have to say this about the 8 guitars that I've purchased in the last 6 weeks from Proaudiostar, all of them being Squiers. They all came out of the box ready to play except for stretching the strings. The intonation was on. I had to make a few minor adjustments on action. That's all to taste. I loosened the truss rod a little bit because the necks are extremely straight on these guitars and I like a little bit of relief. But literally out of the box, stretch the strings a couple times, tune it up, and you're ready to play. Now that's a your mileage may vary kind of statement. I can't speak to all Squier guitars. I know that I've just had nothing but good luck. The fret ends on this guitar are a touch, and I literally mean a touch rougher than the other ones, but they're still very smooth. There's no grittiness on the top of the frets. The frets are all polished and smooth as glass. Tone's really nice. I dropped the bridge pickup down because I thought it was too high, and in the middle position it was dominating the tone and giving it a real sort of a trebly. So I dropped the bridge pickup down. I'm guessing because this is a 50s homage style guitar, the pickups are lower output, so you have to push the amp up a little higher, which is fine. And clean, it's very sparkly, put a little bit of drive on it, it's got some nice bite to it. And again, it plays like a dream. It's just a really, really, really nice guitar. And I feel like I got lucky. This one weighs in at about 8 pounds, which 7.5, 8 pounds for a Telecaster is about right. If you go on Sweetwater and look at the ones that they show, some people say they, 9 pounds, 9.5 pounds. There's a few people on forums that have said they got a 10-pounder, so I feel lucky to have gotten an 8-pounder. My Classic Vibe 60s Custom comes in at 8 pounds, and I've got a Squier Bullet Telecaster that's 8.2 pounds, and that's with the thinner body. So, again, the weight of these guitars is all over the place. I spend most of my time sitting down, so I've got a 9.5 pound Les Paul, and it doesn't bother me at all because I'm sitting down. But if I had to stand with it, I definitely prefer lighter guitars, which is one of the reasons why I really, really, really like the Paranormal Cabronita Thinline Telecaster. It comes in at just under 7 pounds, and that's a perfect weight for me. But everything on this guitar works absolutely swell. So whether I keep it or not is just a matter of logistics. I've got to sell some guitars because I have way too many guitars. But this one may make the cut. I'm going to play the 60s Classic Vibe Custom this evening and just sort of A-B them back and forth and just see, because it's probably going to be one or the other that I keep. Or I may sell both and get a butterscotch. One never knows what adventures will happen. But if you are a fan of Telecaster and you want to get a great deal, as of today, again, October the 29th, 2022, Proaudiostar, $249. Again, this came out of the box brand new. They popped the top of the boxes open, I guess, just to make it illegal. They pop the staples and then they tape it back up. But this guitar looked virtually untouched. There was maybe a fingerprint on the pickguard, but no scratches. Body's absolutely flawless, no dings or dents or anything. And I must say, too, that the tuners, of all the 8 guitars that I've got, the tuners work best on this one. One of the members on the forum suggested that maybe in the haste of building these things as a mass-produced item, they shoved the tuners in, threw the strings on, tuned it up, and then tightened down the screws. And maybe there's an alignment issue with the post of the tuner going through the ferrule or the bushing. And maybe that's where it's binding, because the other 7 of mine have some binding issues. This one's much smoother. So I'm going to write to Fender and just mention to that they either A, got a hold of a lot, because I'm sure these are the same imitation vintage style Clusen tuners they're using on all their Classic Vibe and Paranormal series, which are the two series I bought from. So either they got a bum lot, or they need to tell their production people to change the progression of installation, that they need to install them, make sure that they're perfectly straight, that they're not binding, and then put the strings on. I'm sure they'll listen to me and make noticeable changes, right? Ha ha ha. I don't think that'll happen. Anyways, once again, thanks for joining me. This may be the last new guitar day for a while. We've heard that before. It may be true, it may not. But again, as I was saying, if you're in the market for a Telecaster, these normally are going brand new for like $400, $419, $420, $249.99. It's a deal. I don't know if it's because they just have a glut of them. I'm not sure what their thinking is, but they have the quote-unquote white blonde and the butterscotch on sale today, $249.99. It is a bargain. It's a deal, and it's a quality instrument for a mid-level price instrument. And I have played American-made Fender Telecasters and Stratocasters, and I'm not going to say this is as good as them, but it's close. And then it comes down to taste. You may or may not like the pickups on this. I don't think you can fault the build quality. Fit and finish, spectacular. So anyways, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you around next time.